Is known for having some very vocal fans and nearly 70,000. Welcome in, football fans. Thanks for joining us. Kate Scott, Brock Hewitt here with you, and Brock, on paper, it's not quite the competitive contest that everyone hopes for each week, but projections have us heavily tilted towards one sideline here.
One thing that is cool, Kate, it's been really easy to rally together this week for this team, because nothing will unite a football roster, in my experience, than having the whole world against you. Heck, even your own fans at home against you. They don't care if nobody thinks they've got a shot. Those dudes playing today, putting that uniform on, they believe they can do this, and the power of that belief is a big deal.
Starting on the ground here with Barkley. And that's good for a gain of 5. Brought to a halt by Deontay Banks. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
Great. Set. Hey, 73.
Here's another carry for Barkley. Across the 45 and still going. Down the sideline inside the 30. And he finally ends up out of bounds after a huge gain. They rip off a huge chunk of field as the downs reset. Sets him up nice and pretty at the 25 following that big play. Going to the ground again on first. And he drives into a pile of defenders and is stopped right at the line. No progress on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
No touch that. Hey, Silver. No touch.
Throwing here hurts. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along their route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Hurts looking to throw. He's got Smith. And he's brought down. They're going to mark him at the 14. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
And he has this one down to the 8-yard line. They've invested some early touches in him, Brock, and the returns so far, I'd say very promising.
Kate, I told you the story before, but it was the same play 18 plays in a row. You know, I was really good with that clipboard on the sidelines. 18 plays in a row. Peyton ran the same play. If you can't stop it, keep calling it.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he drives forward for a little, maybe to the 7. Only a yard on the pickup, so that's going to bring them to 3rd down and 3.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Barkley gets it on 3rd down. And it's a nice gain off a really good effort there just to stay upright. Pushing the pace right away to start the game. Barkley has the Philadelphia touchdown. The Eagles finish up an excellent opening series. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. Point after added on by Elliott. And the Eagles will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Fielded at the 7. Big lick from the coverage team there. That's going to stop the return before it can get to the 30. So out come the Giants. Their first drive of the game coming up. And leading them out is their 2nd-year quarterback from Kentucky. He earned several starts as a rookie. It's Will Levis.
Some tough luck last week for this quarterback, Kate. 2 touchdowns, the 1 interception, and you just know the way it works. These coaches love to tell us they always think about the losses. They sting way more than the wins. It's the same thing with the quarterback. He's not thinking about the touchdowns. He's thinking about correcting that interception and knowing right here, it's got to play some clean ball.
That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And the Giants will have a first down. Great start to the drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. Levis out of the pistol. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up. Trying again following the sack. This one is hit by a defender and winds up incomplete. That one vehemently swatted away. So now it's going to be third and long. From the gun, Levis. He's on the move. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up fourth down. The Giants ready to punt, and they're going to send out the lefty, Jamie Gillen, for the kick. He has it at the 22. And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. The Eagles and Saquon Barkley ready to take over once again. And that touchdown on their opening drive, more of what we've come to expect from him this season. You can see he's one of the league's best at finding the end zone thus far. First down, a run with Barkley. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. And we haven't even hit the break yet, but already we're looking at this likely becoming a 100-yard game for him in the very near future, and expect more to follow after that. First down, ball at the 36. They go to Barkley again. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Brought to a halt by Deonte Banks. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. From the 38. This one finds Goddard. Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Micah McFadden able to make the play. 3rd and a lone yard coming up. Straight ahead, here's Barkley. It's a gain of 4. And that's good for an Eagles first down.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that first down right there.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Here's a give inside to Gainwell. And he hit a seam and got it to the opposing 44. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short.
8 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 2.
1 quarter down for these two NFC East teams. Ready now for our second quarter. The Eagles have the football. They're advancing it well as they face 2nd down. Pass caught by Gainwell. And they make the stop, we're going to say, at about the 37-yard line. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident the screen would get them enough yards for the first, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
Barkley trying this up the gut. And they love to see him fighting forward, but he only gets them 3.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
A play fake now hurts to throw. Finds him on the crossing route. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's a Philadelphia first down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
They run it with Saquon. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You know, the elite running backs in this league, they don't just see what's right in front of them. You set up big runs like this because they see what's behind them. That's called extraordinary vision and extra yards.
They're going to run with Barkley. And the middle holds. They don't get anything on the run. No gain that time, and now it'll be 2nd and goal.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line, and the defense, well, they did the job on 1st down. More to come.
And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. Barkley. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. So on 4th down, on comes the Eagles kicker, Jake Elliott, for the try. This is a chip shot from the left hash. The kick by Hopkins is good. And they come away with some points on that series.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is if the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Here's a return from the 7. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The Giants taking the field for their 2nd possession. They now trail by double digits after that last score, Bronk. It's 10-0 partway through here. Now we'll run here with Tajay Spears. It looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. C.J. Gardner-Johnson there on the tackle.
You know, that's a good run right there. Keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. They motion the tight end over. 2nd and 6 now. Anticipated the quick staccato pass there. It's knocked away. Incomplete. Could not beat the defender there. And that means 3rd down coming up. They put a receiver in motion here left. Throwing is Levis on 3rd down. And down he goes. The Eagles got him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. Jamie Gillen on now to punt. And he's only a handful of yards from his own goal line. Starts the return at the 34. And he's brought down before the return gets far. The Eagles and this running back headed back out for a new series. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. 1st down throwing for Hurts. That's caught. It's Saquon Barkley. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. In the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
On the handoff, it's Barkley. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play. So now a timeout for a player who was shaken up on that previous snap, and I think we can all agree not what any of us were hoping to see as we close out this regular season. 5 men in the secondary for the G-men now ahead of 3rd down.
Hey, 73.
Here's Hurts. Goddard makes the catch. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. On the play fake, it's Hurts. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
2nd down, Hurts throwing again. He's got it near the 8. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. It's the 2-minute warning now from the link. The Eagles pushing for points. This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal.
No touch that. Hey, 73, 73. No touch.
Hurts throwing again. And he has it in the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The Eagles grow their lead just before halftime. A.J. Brown, the touchdown. Elliott on now to attempt the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Eagles take a 3-possession lead. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. And he gets up beyond the 20, but they plant him a few inches into the ground to end that return. Well, we've already seen some nice plays here, and we're going to see plenty more before this game ends. But you might be thinking, with plays like that, my guys' ratings should be better. Well, you're not alone. You got a chance to let the Madden ratings hotline know just what you're thinking. Give them a call, 1-844-MADDEN-1, and make your case for who should get a boost. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Levis now on 1st down. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, he falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Able to hit Robinson, complete. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. The Giants using their first timeout. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10.
0.
Levis throwing again. Got a man. Robinson has it. We'll have him gain up about a handful there. Kobe Dean in on the tackle.
That's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Levis now off the play fake. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. Timeout called, and that's going to be the 2nd for New York. Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their 1st. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. And the Birds bring out the nickel look. 3rd down coming up. Levis from the shotgun. No one open, so he chucks this to another county.
So many coaches love 3rd downs, and they practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game or already out of hand, coaches know, got to execute and convert on these 3rd downs.
This one carries out of bounds. Not the greatest field position awaiting them. It's spotted at the 11. The Eagles taking over now late in the 1st half. And up a very comfortable 3 scores. Really no need to try and get anything here before the half.
No touch that.
1st and 10. Here's Hurts. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes. And your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time? Well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
No touch.
Not taking any risks here, keeping this one on the ground. And he's taken down here at the 16-yard line. They get about 4 there, need a little more than that now on 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
So we're halfway through this final week of the regular season. Now down the coast we go to... Not a big window for those halftime speeches. They're right back out of the locker room and set to resume play with the 3rd quarter.
Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Returning it from the 4. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Mike 54. Yeah, Mike 54.
On the play fake, it's Levis. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Kate, I can already read the headlines tomorrow. This offensive line can't protect. This offensive line. But it's more than that. When you give up 5 sacks in a game, it's a complete breakdown of everybody offensively. Play caller, quarterback, offensive line. Yeah, they're going to have to regroup and figure out how to protect this quarterback first and foremost.
This one intended for the running back. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Levis. He has the 1st over the middle. Oh, this big guy is moving. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position by hitting on that shot. You've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Now the shotgun give to Spears. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. Jacoby Dean in on the tackle. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
Mike 54.
Levis to the air now. That one's complete, right side. What a hit. He gets flattened to the ground.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on a throw, that's a go-to route to target.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4.
Mike 54.
Here's Levis. The Eagles swarm in and take him down. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down. Graham Gano and the Giants field goal unit out. It's from the right hash, 46 yards. The kick by Gonzalez is good. And the gap closes to 14 points.
A dependable kicker, man. That is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance consistently. Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
He stopped on the return at the 27. Philadelphia getting ready to go on offense. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10.
Great, set. No touch.
Running is Barkley. And he found some running room for a nice gain. We have a timeout now. Medical staff out to check on an injured man. And you hate to see this in the final week of the regular season.
No touch, set. 73. No touch.
Handoff headed right. Barkley. And defenders are there to get him at the line. That was Jordan Fuller getting there for the tackle. Nothing gained or lost on that run. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Great, set. No touch.
A give to Barkley. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. That goes as a 4-yard pickup, and it gets him a 1st down. New set of downs for him at the 38.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
No touch.
On 1st down, Hurts. His ball's caught by Uzama. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the 1st down.
Hey, thumbs up, alert. No touch, set.
At the 49-yard line.
No touch.
Here's Saquon. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Hauled in by Goddard, left side. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. That's a pickup of 9. And that's good for an Eagles first down.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Running right, it's Barkley. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
From the 36. Got a man. Uzama has it. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Tackle made by Elijah Molden.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
To the ground with Barkley. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12. The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Hurts. Barkley's got it. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made.
Well, this is the type of game we've come to expect from him as a runner, toting the ball, but he's just as adept at turning the screen into the same kind of yardage, too.
Here's Barkley. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
Hey, Kate, you want to see a picture in the football dictionary of staying on schedule? That was it.
First down, and they go right back to him. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss. Only one. Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Here's another carry for Barkley. And he's brought down for a loss.
This coordinator tried to show some trust and belief in his offense. A run after a negative run? Well, you lose a lot of equity and belief in that coordinator. I don't think he's going to try a 3rd run after back-to-back negative losses.
Now Hurts on 3rd and long. This finds Smith. And a nice gain here, but it stopped short of the 1st. So on 4th down, on comes the Eagles kicker, Jake Elliott, for the try. High percentage look for him here from the left hash. The kick by Hopkins is good. And that makes this a 3-score game.
I think you could call this one now, Kate. This field goal makes it a 3-score game, and even the most improbable comeback attempts are going to have a hard time erasing that type of deficit here in the final quarter.
He fields it from the 8. He stopped on the return at the 27. New York taking over once again. The offense heading out. And all game, they have struggled to attack this deficit. Maybe they can do a little window dressing here.
Hey, come on.
They'll motion Slayton left. Throwing now on 1st down, Levis. This is complete to Neighbors. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Like 49.
Here's 2nd and 5. He finds Slayton. And he's tackled for a short gain. Eagles with an extra man in the secondary for this 3rd down. From the gun, Levis. Caught for big yards on the right side. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Markers reset, ball at the 37. Levis here on first down. Gets this to Slayton. And he's got it down to the 30 before going out. 2nd and 3 now. Now Levis. Connecting on the slant. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Levis now on first down. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Let's be real clear. There is nothing lucky about number 7 at all for this quarterback. The 7th time he's been taken to the ground for a sack. This defense, they've made adjustments. They're incorporating a variety of different looks and blitzes, and it just seems like, Kate, constantly they are a step ahead of whatever this offense is trying to do to protect this quarterback.
That one's cut along the left sideline.
You've got to be cognizant of where the line to gain is. You can't run that route short, and you certainly can't throw it. That route's just not deep enough. Needed to extend it closer to the chains for a first down.
Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. He finds him beyond the marker. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. And look at the footwork there. Touchdown. The Giants get it back to within 2 possessions. Wow, just fantastic work there. Tiptoeing along the back line. The concentration was there. Great catch for 6.
Yeah, the concentration and the body control. I don't know how these receivers do it in this day and age. There's no space to work with, yet they have such an awareness to secure it first, to tap dance the line, and go get that touchdown.
And the onside kick doesn't pan out. The Eagles make the recovery. Well, kind of feels like we're starting to get to that point, Brock.
And what point is that, Kate?
You know, the bold point of the game where you have to try something bold could end up becoming a play that finally sinks them, though.
Yeah, it's time for desperation. Without a defensive stop here, it's really hard to lay out the scenarios for much success. Every second matters now when you don't come up with that onside kick.
He was looking for Dallas Goedert there. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down. Now Barkley. And in a rarity today, he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on 3rd down. Throwing here, Hurts. He's got Smith. And they get there to take him down right around the 41.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in Philly. Eagles holding a 10-point lead. Fourth and 3, drive on the line.
Great, set. Call up Yeti. Hey. Don't touch.
On 4th down, Hurts has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. Now just 4 seconds after our 2-minute warning, we've got another pause. Timeout taken by the defense. They're set up at the 35 now.
Great, set. Don't.
Oh, look at this. He's setting up to throw. Goddard makes the catch.
Sure nice to see them looking for their tight ends in the passing game. Such great size to have out there. It really forces defenses to try to find a way to defend them along with everybody else.
And in a rarity today, he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. Timeout called, and that's going to be the second for New York. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call is going to be on third down.
No touch that. No touch.
Now Hurts. That's into the hands of Barkley. And he's stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about.
Holding offense.
A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. Backed up now after the penalty. It's third down.
Great, set. No touch.
Hurts setting up to throw. That's caught for the first. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. The defense takes its third and final timeout.
No touch that. Yeti. No touch.
Wow, they're going to pass it here. Short pass brought in. And they're going to get this down to the 4 before being stopped. That's a gain of 13, and it sets them up with first and goal.
No touch.
Barkley will not get past the line. He's held up at the 4.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on first and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on second down.
Great.
Still chances to get these final 4 yards. It's second and goal.
No touch.
Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. And he makes the catch. Did he get both feet in? No! Oh, so close to 6. Incomplete. Buckle up. It's third and goal.
No touch that. No touch.
Shotgun snap for Hurts. Almost had 6, but can't find him in the end zone. Incomplete. So on fourth down, on comes the Eagles kicker, Jake Elliott, for the try. A pretty automatic look for him from the left. The kick by Hopkins is good. And that pushes the lead up to 13.
That kick, well, it throws a roadblock up on some of the remaining avenues to get back in this game. It really leaves only 1 remaining. It's going to take 2 touchdowns if they want a shot at it. And we know those odds, they're getting pretty long.
Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
They're out and set, first and 10.
Here we go.
Levis from the shotgun. And that's going to fall incomplete. We're down to 9 seconds left.
Boy, offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting a completion in that area, and not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
And he doesn't see a window he likes, so he just got rid of that one. And it brings up third down.
Well, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you've got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
Like 24.
Here he is to throw. And there's our last stand image of this game. It's intercepted. Cooper to Gene in to pick it up. So beneath the chorus of Fly, Eagles Fly, it's a win for the Eagles. And they end the season on a great note, Brock, with a W in the final chapter of this year's campaign. That does it for another broadcast of the NFL on EA Sports. With my partner in the booth, Brock Hewitt, I'm Kate Scott. The Eagles are winners.